Okay, time to get started for the third quarter. I decided to change it up a little bit because the third quarter was supposed to be about a guide what to do when you're dead, which in a way is kind of depressing. So I decided I'm going to keep that, but I'm going to cut it a little bit shorter, and I'm going to talk about life. I think that'd be better. Anyway, as far as a guide what to do after you're dead, because we talked about this before, that maybe when you die you don't have a good imagination, you don't know what to do, and my job is to tell you or provide some guidance as to what to do, give you some examples. I gave you one before, I'm going to give you another one now. What I would do would be I would go back to the time I was born, the very time I was born, and watch myself get born, and watch the reaction of my parents, and watch everything that happened, and then just chill and watch my whole life. I mean, I'm talking my whole life, and just see all the things that happen. Because what happens really in life is this. You talk about the things that happened in the past, or I do talk about things that happened in the past, and we have stories about the past, and sometimes you'll tell these stories with someone that was with you, right? Someone that was with you, and you say, this is what happened, and they'll go, no, that's not what happened. And you're like, what? What do you mean that's not what happened? That's what I remember. And what they found out, and this is the truth, is that what you remember, it's not necessarily so. Sometimes your mind messes it up, you know. I mean, most of the time it's correct, but sometimes it messes it up. So in your life, every time you tell a story, somebody says it was this way instead of this way. Okay, now you can go back and see exactly what happened. See how good your memory was, and I think that would be pretty cool. In a way. Because the downside of it is this, okay? The downside of it is this, is that, because I've thought about this, and the downside is that if you can go back and see what happened in your life, right, which is great, means I could also go back and see what happened in my father's life, and my mother's life, my uncle's life, my aunt's life, my brother's life, anybody's life. I could go from the time they were born, like see my dad, and watch his life and see what happened all the way to make him the way he was, right? And I've never talked about the way he was. We'll talk about it later. But you could see what happened, right? And that bothers me, to be honest with you. That does bother me, because the simple reason is this, is that if that's true, that means that right now as I'm talking, not only is it possible for me to be looking at my life as it's going on, it's also possible for my kids, because they're going to die eventually too, but they could be watching me and all the things I do and all stupid stuff, and some stuff is really embarrassing, and some stuff is like, I don't know why I did that, and I'm sorry, you know, but it's embarrassing if you stop and think about it, that in the future this might happen to you, that everything you do will be looked at by all the people you love, and you're going to get judged, and that's kind of bothers me. But if it happens, it happens, you know. I'm just glad I didn't do anything like super horrible. I did some stupid stuff and some crazy stuff, and some stuff I go like, why'd I do that? But right now I haven't done anything really horrible. But anyway, that's the part about dying right there. I decided to do another part. Another part is about living. I just went and saw my mom. My mom's like 80 some years old, 87, something like that. And my mom's a great lady. She's a wonderful lady. I mean, my whole life I've never seen her cuss. Never. It's one of the few people I can say I've never seen her cuss. My brother said that he saw her cuss once. I mean, me and my brothers were really crazy, So I can imagine. I'm surprised we didn't make her cuss earlier, right? I'm really surprised we didn't make her cuss. But anyway, what I'm going to do is stop this for right now, and I'm going to show a short clip of her and a couple other people. So for now, I'm just going to stop. And I'll bring me back up in a minute.
They had a bunch of
Wow.
So tell me again, Mom, did you like it?
They might.
I love it.
The little tablet.
Thank
Manny.
you, Miko and Mary.
Yeah. There's Jonathan. Manny.
Love you.
Jonathan. There's Mary. And there's me.
I want to get some for the house in Mexico.
Oh, okay. So you saw my mom, and the guy next to her was her husband. He's sort of my stepfather, I guess. He's a pretty nice guy. The guy to the left of him is Jonathan. Jonathan is my sister's son, or one of her sons, and to the left was my wife Mary, right? So what I want to do is I want to talk about my mom now for a minute, because we talked about I'm surprised we didn't make her go crazy. Now I'll give you an example as to why I think this. Where we lived at was a very poor neighborhood, and we didn't get a lot of money, but we did get an allowance. We got 25 cents a week. 25 cents a week. Most of the time, not always, but most of the time we got 25 cents a week. So it was like, all right, I got me some money, right? And 6 blocks away from where I live at, right, was this magic shop. I love going to this magic shop because I got into the magic, and I couldn't hardly afford anything, but I could go in there and look at the stuff they had, and sometimes somebody would buy something, and the guy that sold the stuff would show them how to do it, you know, like the little square box you put in a trap, and you get all these cars out, and I knew how that worked because I saw them do it, you know, and they would do other stuff, and it was really awesome. But they had all this stuff in there that you could buy. Some of the stuff was really cheap. Like, one of the things I kind of regret a little bit, not much, but just a little bit, was they had this perfume that was called stink perfume, and it smelled like rotten eggs, and it was only like, God, 15 cents or 10 cents or something like that. I forget what it was. So I bought me a bottle of that, and to this day I feel so sorry, and I apologize if you're seeing this and I did this to you. But I go to school, and this is when I was in elementary school, like 1st, 2nd, 3rd grade, something like that, and the girls in front of me, I would get this perfume, and I would put some drops on them and close it, and the stuff stunk so fierce, and I would go, girl, you smell like crap, and she'd turn around and she'd go like she'd go, yeah, is that me? I go, I don't know, I think it is. And I knew it was her because I'm the one that did it, you know. And I think back now, how could I do that stuff, you know, like, oh well, it's, when you're a kid, you do stupid shit like that. But anyway, back to my mom, right? Because we were talking about my mom. So anyway, I go in the magic shop one time, and they got this fake blood, right? They got this fake blood. So I see that, and I go, oh, that's pretty cool. So I buy this fake blood. I go home, and we lived in a really tough neighborhood. I mean, we used to have gang fights. I'm talking about, you know, like 10, 12 kids against 10 or 12 kids, and fight each other all the time. And like my brother had, this is before he was 9 years old. He had his head busted open 3 times, you know, with boards and rocks and stuff, you know, when we used to fight. And I got my head open once, you know. But anyway, we used to have all these little miniature gangs, because that's the neighborhood we had. We had a neighborhood that the grown-up kids were doing it, and the adults were doing it. And as we were coming up, we were doing it too, I guess. That was the part of life, you know. Anyway, so Mom was used to us showing up kind of a little messed up. We never got messed up too bad, but just a little bit, you know. So anyway, I got this fake blood, and I put it all over my face, you know, like I got beat up severely. And I knocked on the door, And when the door opened, I just fell on the floor, just face up, you know, And my mom was like, ah! She freaked out completely. It was hilarious. And then I started laughing, and then she started whooping on me, pretty much about that close, you know. 'Cause she did not find it amusing. But, oh well. That's what you do when you're a kid. And that's also what you do when you know your mom, you know, she's going to get mad. She might hit you a little bit, but she's not going to be much, you know. It's something you can handle. You weigh it, you know, like, okay, if I do this, she's going to hit me, but she's not going to hit me that hard. It's not going to be that bad. Should I do it? And you go, hell yes, I'm going to do it. That's even if when you're a little kid, you know, hell yes, I would do this. It's going to be worth it. It'll be a good story in the future. Because that's the way you should live your life, you know, when you're making choices and stuff. I had a little problem. So this looks different from the rest. But what I was saying is that if you have choices, right? And you look at your choices and you say to yourself, is this going to be a good story? And you say, yeah, it is, you know. You just do it. So long as nobody's really going to get hurt, not like that. It's like maybe yourself. Maybe you might get hurt yourself, but you still got to go do it. I mean, you can't spend your life in a bubble avoiding everything, you know. Nothing dangerous, nothing scary. I mean, I ride a bike all the time. It's scary as hell, you know, and I'll be talking about this later, you know. But basically, like I said, if you have a choice to do something, and if it's something that's going to make a good story and nobody's going to get hurt, go for it. That's my advice.